internalists, it is I, and I really want to make a video here about PCT, post-cycle therapy for coming off of anabolic steroids. I'm 6 weeks through my cycle of 500 milligrams a week of testosterone enanthate, so I really want to make sure I do this correctly and come off of this correctly and get myself back up and running again. So I've been watching a few videos and reading some material here on post-cycle therapy, and three of my absolute faves on this are number one, Dylan Gemelli, and number two would be a guy whose channel is called Jim Candy, and then number three is FormulaSecrets. So all of these videos which I watched, they all seem to have a very similar approach. However, not all of them mentioned all of the SERMs and AIs. So as you know, hopefully there are four main SERMs and AIs here involved in the post-cycle therapy. So number one, very common one, Arimidex or anastrozole AI, and number two, Aromacin, a little bit stronger, more powerful AI. And then the two SERMs which I'm looking into are Nolvadex and Clomid. So each one of these videos that I watched have a slightly different approach, and varying in which ones to use and also the doses. So something that I found quite interesting is actually the dude that runs the channel FormulaSecrets. He's a pretty big dude and seems really very into what he's doing, and it seems like he knows what he's doing. However, it just seems quite strange. Like, you watch his kind of take on this about so what was his video called? The one I watched was okay, links are down in the description there for these three videos. So but anyway, the FormulaSecrets one was the modern way of PCT, and what he advocated was doing 2 weeks after the last injection. Okay, so all of the PCT is in general the 2 weeks after last injection. I guess this is for a long ester, yeah. So a longer acting ester. So in my case, this would be the right approach, because I am using a testosterone enanthate which has a longer ester. So therefore I should wait 2 weeks after the last injection before I begin PCT, or add whatever other AIs and SIMs plus what I'm carrying over from the cycle, which I'm not doing anything else in the cycle, only the testosterone enanthate. I'm not adding any other HCG, or, well, I did a little bit of HCG, but no other SIMs or AIs. I didn't feel it was necessary. So anyway, FormulaSecrets, he advised only 0.5 milligrams of anastrozole or Arimidex per week, and then 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of HCG per week. So I'm assuming he would break that up into 2 or 3 separate injections of 500 IUs, yeah? Okay, sorry, this should not be milligrams, this should be IUs. The HCG is measured in IUs, not milligrams. All the other ones, SIMs and AIs, are all measured in milligrams, but the HCG is measured in IUs, international units. So yeah, this is what he said, and it's interesting because he does not talk about any other SERMs. He only mentions this one AI, anastrozole, this one aromatase inhibitor, anastrozole, and then the HCG. And I don't know, I felt quite blown away by this guy. He seems to be very into what he's doing, and he seems very confident, and he's like, yeah, this will definitely work. This has worked for all my clients, blah blah blah. So yeah, I mean, watching that guy speak, you feel quite yeah, you feel quite empowered that what he's saying is going to work. However, I don't know how much science that is based on. Probably looks like mostly bro science or whatever, which was fine. Then there was Dylan Gemelli, and he's interesting because he advocates using both Clomid and Nolvadex, so using two SERMs, selective androgen receptor modulators. And he's saying that Clomid is much better for kickstarting the testosterone, and Nolvadex is needed too. So let me also read to you some notes that I made, and this comes from steroidial.com. So steroidial.com, I found this, which was very, very interesting. So let me just read this to you, and I'll put it on the screen there if I can, and I'll put a link down in the description to this website here. So here we go. Okay, looks like it's written by an American, so I'll read this in an American accent. Furthermore, it has been outlined earlier on in this section of this profile that HCG will increase testicular aromatase expression, causing estrogenic side effects as a result of HCG use. The combination of HCG and Nolvadex must also therefore be utilized with an aromatase inhibitor, AI. However, the use of HCG with Nolvadex leaves only the most valid choice being aromacin. And then it's got in parentheses exemestane. As studies have demonstrated that when the other two AIs, letrozole or arimidex, are utilized with Nolvadex, Nolvadex will decrease blood plasma concentration of letrozole as well as arimidex. Therefore, the best possible choice of aromatase inhibitor in order to mitigate the increased aromatase activity caused by HCG administration would be aromacin. So that's very interesting here. This excerpt from steroidial.com here are saying that aromacin is the best possible choice to be combined with Nolvadex and not arimidex, okay, not anastrozole, because it's saying here that if you combine anastrozole or arimidex with Nolvadex, then it will decrease blood plasma concentration. Yeah, okay, I believe that's what it's saying. It's saying that if you do combine these two, it will decrease blood plasma concentration. So can you please leave a comment down there if you know anything about this? Is this really such a big thing to worry about decreasing the blood plasma concentration? Does it really matter whether you use aromacin or arimidex with Nolvadex? Because the other guy that I was reading his thing here was the guy Jim Candy. You can see his one down there. So he does mention both arimidex and aromacin. However, he says that arimidex is better for beginners because it is not that strong, whereas aromacin is much stronger. So, but if this is true, and if this is what I'm reading from this steroidial.com, if it is true that this decreased blood plasma concentration as a result of combining Nolvadex with arimidex, if that is a big problem, then yeah, I guess I would rather go with the aromacin. So would that be a better combination? Would it be safer to combine aromacin with Nolvadex? rather than Arimidex. It's interesting, a lot of, people, they all talk about Arimidex, especially, that FormulaSecrets guy, he seems to be right up there about Arimidex. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting that, these people don't mention all of the AIs and SIRMs, but the dude that mentioned all of them was this Jim Candy dude. Yeah, he did definitely mention Nolvadex, Clomid, Arimidex, and Aromacin. However, he only talked about Nolvadex and Arimidex. He didn't, that SIRM and that AI, he didn't mention the other SIRM, Clomid, and the other AI, Aromacin. So, but according to this information here from steroidal.com, it's much better to combine Aromacin with Nolvadex and not Arimidex. Okay. So anyway, let me finish this excerpt here from the website steroidal.com. Finally, HCG doses for the purpose of hormonal restoration during PCT are that of 500 IU daily for the first 1 to 2 weeks of PCT. Okay, let me stop there. This is interesting because, this dude from FormulaSecrets, he's saying use only 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of HCG per week, so in 2 or 3 injections of 500 IU, I'm assuming, and use only 0.5 milligrams of anastrozole once per week. And however, on this website, it's saying that the first 1 to 2 weeks of PCT, you should do 500 daily. As it continues here, the higher and more frequent HCG doses are only necessary during the first initial weeks. Okay, so I'm assuming this first 2 weeks following the termination of an anabolic steroid cycle in order to provide an initial jolt of testosterone output after an anabolic steroid cycle where extended periods of testicular atrophy might have occurred. Yeah, so I guess to sum it up, I like all of these 4 sources. So the steroidal.com here and these 3 videos that I've watched all seem to have something, seem to bring something unique to the table here, something important to the table here. So to sum it up, okay, my thoughts is that Clomid and Nolvadex should be used together in a lower dosage. Okay, so if you're only using either, then the dosage should be higher. And also the doses here, so the PCT therapy, which the Jim Candy guy mentions, these doses look just too high. I mean, if what FormulaSecrets dude is saying works, only use 0.5 milligrams once per week of Arimidex and only 2 or 3 shots of 500 IU per week of HCG, well then, why the heck is this dude from Jim Candy advocating these like huge doses, which is significantly higher than the other dude? So that's weird. So I'm assuming, okay, what I'm going to do, this is my thinking, so I've written my thoughts here. So my thoughts is add Clomid at 50 milligrams every day. I'll probably reduce it actually. I'll probably 30 or 40 milligrams. And then, yes, it can reduce Arimidex to as little as 0.5 milligrams once weekly. I'll probably go with a little bit higher than that. Maybe I'll do it like 2 or 3 times weekly at 0.5 milligrams. And then reduce doses of other drugs. Okay, I'm going to reduce the doses of the other drugs. Because, yeah, as I say, this FormulaSecrets dude who seems to know what he's doing, and it seems to work for him, and his doses are just like so much lower than these other doses. And yeah, so again, to sum it up, I'm basically going to follow this PCT therapy cycle here, which was put forth by the Jim Candy dude. Okay, so if you watch that video, then you'll know. So this seems like a good sort of skeleton to follow. However, I'm going to add Clomid, and I'm probably going to substitute Arimidex for Aromacin, according to the information that I read from steroidal.com. That would be better, okay, to mitigate that, to avoid that blood plasma problem. It seems to be more wise to substitute Arimidex for, substitute Aromacin for Arimidex, okay, so use Aromacin instead. And then also use Nolvadex, and also use Clomid. Okay, so I'm going to follow that guy's plan. I'm probably not going to explain the whole plan. I mean, you can see it as it's written there. That's his plan. So the first 1 to 2 weeks is just Aromacin at 0.5 milligrams. It says every other day. So according to the FormulaSecrets dude, that dosage is a bit high. So maybe I'll do once or twice, or maybe max 3 times a week of that dose. And then Nolvadex, it says 40 milligrams ED every day. I don't know, is that high? Let me know in the comments. Or maybe I'll do a bit less than that. Maybe like every other day, or maybe a little bit less than that every day. And then, Clomid, I guess I'll probably do like max 50 milligrams every day. And that'll follow along with the Nolvadex. And I'm assuming that once I get to the 3rd week here, that the dose of Clomid will just will tag along with the Nolvadex right through the end. Yeah? Okay. So guys, if you watched all of this video, thank you so much for listening to me blabble on about this. And I hope you can go down there and watch all 3 videos and help me do this research to find out what is really the best way to do PCT. All right, guys, peace out. Internal Lars.